Hey everyone, so welcome back. So hopefully maybe you watched my last video. I was talking about a little bit about like why I went to BYU and just like that process of making that decision, you know, those life decisions, and how like in my opinion I felt God helped me, was paving the way for me to go there and go to school there. But I also make reference to that it was a really tough. I had a tough time there, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Like the time when after my first semester, like I was very close to transferring and dropping out of BYU, and kind of what happened. So yeah, hopefully you like the video and enjoy the story. So yeah, so my first semester at BYU was pretty rough. I didn't know anyone in Provo, so I just went into a random apartment of guys. Super crazy because that first year in college, 6 out of the 7 roommates that I had got married. They got engaged. So like there was high turnover in my apartment room. It was kind of funny, but I don't know. I had one, like, you know, they were good guys, my roommates, like, but I definitely spent a lot of time by myself. I quickly realized BYU is a very different, it's a very unique place. Even within like Utah's unique, but Provo is even more unique. And what I mean by that is it's mostly people from very, very similar backgrounds, from Utah, from California, from Idaho, you know, more middle upper class families, and I don't know, I grew up very poor, so it was really, I don't know, I had a hard time even at church. Like they would share their experiences about, you know, going to France or Sweden or going to EFY or I don't know, just all these things that for a lot of people is normal, but for me it wasn't normal. Like for me, my summers were watching TV all day and like playing video games and like making food for my brother and for my brothers while my parents were working, you know, taking care of my brothers basically. So it was hard. It was really hard. And so that was like a big like thing that was weighing on me. Like just socially, I didn't feel like I fit there. So that was one big factor, just the social aspect. But the other thing was that I started having doubts in my like academic performance, because like I went to community college before this, and community college was a breeze. Like I didn't even have to. I literally like slept through the classes, and I still got straight A's. One teacher super mad that I slept through her class, and I was in like the top 3 like students in her class. She was I don't know, but yeah, but university, and specifically like at BYU, it's hard to do that. I mean, there are some classes that are easier for sure. You can kind of like sleep through, but a lot of the classes you do have to like put effort in if you want a good grade. And that's the thing, I hold myself to like a really, I've always wanted just straight A's. That's always, mentally, that's what gave me value, right? Like showing everyone my GPA. I remember I had a humanities class. It was an Asian humanities class, and there was a midterm coming up, and I didn't study. I've never studied in my life. I didn't have to. I just memorized everything, and spat it out. I got very good at memorizing things. But this was the first midterm where I didn't couldn't remember everything. Like my first test, I couldn't remember everything because it was so much. It was like memorize like 30 chapters of a book, and like everything, like the meaning behind artifacts, about music and styles and like art. And I remember, like, I don't know, I remember taking the test and I was like, man, I've been in this test for like an hour. I don't know how much more I remember. It was like 2 hours passed, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know. That was a weird test. And I remember getting my grade back, and I failed. I got an F. I failed that test. But yeah, it was like super shocking to me. I couldn't. I was like, maybe that was, it was just a bad test. I don't know. That's never happened to me. And then I had it was like an astronomy class, and I had the midterm like a few days later, and same thing happened to me. It was like memorizing like 20 chapters of a book, and like, I don't know, every single moon in our solar system, and different magnitudes, all this stuff that I would never have to use in the future, like at all. But yeah, I went into the test, and I was like, oh man, I don't remember any of this. So I just started, doing my best guess, like I usually do. And then a couple days later, I got my grade, and it was another F. And I got super depressed, like super depressed, because I put so much value in my academic like performance up to that point in my life. Like, everyone knew me as just straight A student, and I already built up this like image, this perfect image of like the perfect student, So this was gonna ruin that, and I'm a very prideful person. I didn't want that, I didn't want that to change. So I decided, I was like, well, looks like BYU isn't the place for me. I'm not smart enough to be here. I don't get along with anyone here, or like anyone, like I don't have like any real close friends. So I'll just transfer out. I'll just kind of give up. I don't really see another solution. And yeah, I was just moping around, really feeling bad for myself for a little while, for a couple days. So I was listening to my iPod, right? Just moping around campus, and then this song comes up, and many of you probably have heard it. It's "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson. And I've heard this song before, but this was the first time I like really heard it. The lyrics kind of go like, if you want to change the world, first you gotta start with the man in the mirror. So Michael Jackson was telling me that if I want to change my environment, change things around me, change my like where I am in life to an extension, I have to start with changing me, myself. And what that meant was I had to learn that I had to start studying, which is something I never thought I would have to do in my life. I know that sounds really like, I don't know, it comes off very, I don't know how that comes off on camera, but I never had to study in my life, and never thought I would have to, because I thought studying is for people that, weren't good in school. So I like run home. Well, no, I run to the BYU store, and I buy a planner. Like a planner with a calendar, and then I run home. And then I go online and I look at all the chapters that I have to read, all the midterms that are coming up, and everything, just like everything that's my schedule and my syllabus and everything. And I told myself, I'm gonna study, a few hours each day. I'm gonna, read, take notes, and do it like everyone else does. And it was hard doing it. I have kind of like ADD. I just like, but I really had to discipline myself, and yeah, just I was reading, taking notes, and really trying to do my best, because I was like, if this doesn't work, then I'm definitely like transferring out. I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna stay here. I'd rather be somewhere else. But surprisingly, studying works. If you study, and especially if you like try studying like hard, you know, not just like crunch time everything at the last moment, but if you like spread it out, you actually like learn and retain information and are able to like do better on tests. That was new to me. That was a new concept to me. So yeah, I started doing much better in school. I mean, I didn't get back to being like a straight A student. I was like a B plus student, B minus student. I was a B student. But you know what? I was fine with being a B student. I don't think it was worth like extra time, you know, putting even more hours in studying and becoming, you know, the perfect student anymore. Being a B, I was happy being a B student, being average. That was something new for me when it came to like school. So yeah, at the end of the year, you know, I got like a B average. I made up, you know, those midterms. You know, I was able to bring the, you know, my grade up, and I decided to stay. Even though the social aspect of BYU, I still had a hard time. But after like that first semester too, I moved in with some friends, some mission friends, and like mutual friends of theirs, and things got so much better socially. Like they became my closest like best friends to this day. So things definitely started changing. Like they were still very hard, and that's something I'll get into in my next videos. Just what made it very difficult continuing there. And one of the big things is dating. Dating was extremely hard for me there, and I have a couple like interesting dating stories that I do want to share, and I think that's what I'll share next week. Is the first girl I started like dating there, and why I wasn't ready to date, and that how I basically lied to her. So yeah, we'll talk about that next time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this story. So yeah, if you like it, you know, like it and subscribe, and you keep watching more videos. I'll talk to you later.